My dad and my mom divorced when I was 6. A few years later, Dad met and married my stepmom, Linda, 60 female, who already had an older daughter, Sophie, 14 at the time. On paper, it was perfect. My little brother and I gained a new mom, and Sophie gained a bigger family. In reality, it was complicated. My dad adored Sophie in a way that sometimes made me feel invisible. He doted on her grades, praised her achievements, and bent over backward to shield her from any hardship. Meanwhile, my brother and I grew accustomed to being the forgotten kids. Still loved, but always secondary to the narrative of helping Sophie adjust. I never blamed Sophie. She was just a teenager navigating life. But I couldn't ignore the message. Dad's compassion was finite, and Sophie consumed almost all of it. As I grew into adulthood, I watched Sophie stumble through one failed relationship after another, each breakup more dramatic than the last. She'd cry in the kitchen after a date went south, beg my dad for financial bailouts, and demand emotional support whenever her life fell apart. Dad always dropped everything for her, even if that meant canceling plans or bending rules. Meanwhile, my brother and I learned to fend for ourselves. When I met my fiance, Mark, at 24, I thought I'd stumbled into fairy tale territory. We connected instantly, shared humor, shared dreams, and a mutual love of spontaneous road trips. He treated me with respect and kindness, never minimizing my family drama, but offering a safe, stable haven. After 6 months, I decided to introduce him to my father and Linda at their home. That evening, Dad greeted us at the door with polite warmth. Once we settled at the dining table, Mark and I shared stories about our weekend trip to a nearby art fair. But Linda and Sophie sat the entire meal in tense silence. They neither asked Mark about his work, nor offered him friendly conversation. Dad looked increasingly uncomfortable, offering Sophie quiet reassurance instead of joining our banter.